Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I wanted to share with you a couple of things today. Just quick video. I received some more seeds in the mail, so I'm going to give you a look at what seeds I received, and then the ones that require some different types of stratification. So I will show you what I'm doing with that as well. So I'm going to bring the camera in and give you a closer look at the packages, and we'll have a look at what I got. So the seeds I received were from the Incredible Seed Company. They're from Nova Scotia, and they had some great seeds available that I wanted to try. So the first one here is the teddy bear sunflowers. So got a nice package with these, and then I got some French Charentais melons, and so I'm really hoping that I can get these to grow. Melons are a tricky one here. Again, it's zone 3B. With the weather changes lately, it's kind of becoming a bit of a zone 4 here, but you never have that guaranteed. We have 110 days of growing frost-free generally here, so melons is a tricky one, but these ones are supposed to be a 75-day to maturity, so I'll get them started a little bit early, not much, because melons really take off. And then hopefully we can get some melons out of these if we have favorable conditions. And then I got a few different tomato seeds. This one's a mortgage lifter. Highly recommend it, so I wanted to try it. And the Japanese black trifeli, I think is how you say that. So this was another one I've heard a few people talk about, and it sounds like a great tomato, so I really wanted to give it a try. So I'll be trying that one this year. Here's a cherry tomato, and this is a blush. So just a lighter shouldered one if I remember correctly, so give that one a try. And then I had two peppers. This one's called Lipstick, and this one's the Antoi Romanian. So both peppers that were on my recommended list that I had heard about, so I wanted to try these. I'll let you know when I get these going. As you watch my videos, you'll see how all these things grow for me. But the main reason for this video today is I also got some Bearberry seeds, and these are a native here. You may have heard of it as a kinnikinnick bush, I believe. So we need to stratify these seeds. The great thing with all of these seed packages is they all have very wonderful instructions written on them about how to grow each of these types of seeds. And another thing I really like about these is they have resealable flaps. So something that's nice about this company's seed packages, just as a side note. Now the Bearberry needs to be stratified, and it needs to be stratified in two ways. And if you're not familiar with what stratification is, it's really just a way of kind of recreating what happens naturally out in nature, and that is just breaking down the seed coat. And that's just a protective coating that all seeds have, but some are more difficult to break down than others. And especially a lot of the prairie native plants have a very strong seed coat. Some of them need fire to break down. Some of them are used to going through an animal's digestive system. Some need the freeze-thaw cycles that we have here. So you need to be aware of that when you're planting seeds, especially a lot of native seeds, especially seeds native to cold areas, I think. That's when you'll see a lot of those ones that need to be cold stratified. Or another thing that you can do quite often is just plant native seeds if you can get them available in the fall, like if you collect them yourself, which be responsible if you are, or if you're able to find a reputable supplier and get them that way. Just you can sow them in the fall outside, and then they will go through those cycles naturally. And usually a lot of them will break their dormancy then come spring. Some native seeds need 2 seasons, so do your research, find out what to expect. These seeds for this particular plant are supposed to have a 50 to 70% germination rate. They need a warm stratification and then a cold stratification, and then they need to be planted out. So I'm hoping that I can get these seeds to germinate. I've never tried these before. I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to bring you along to see how it goes for me. So today we're going to get them ready to stratify. The first part of this, for these particular seeds, not all, is to soak them. So the package said to soak them for 24 hours. And I noticed some of the seeds were floating when I first put them in the water to soak, which usually means that they won't germinate. With most seeds, if they're floating, they aren't viable seed. Now, I don't know, all the seeds have sunk to the bottom now with these, so we'll see how they do. So like I said, I had them soaked for 24 hours. That's finished now, and now they need to be stratified, and it said to stratify them in sand, so I have a dish, and it's supposed to be moist sand, so I have a dish full of sand that I just put some water in. There's a little bit too much water in it, but I'm going to scoop it into a bag anyways. All I could find this time of year here is decorative sand, so I'm hoping that that's good enough. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And then I'm actually going to be putting it all into a bag that I have labeled with what kind of seeds they are, where they came from, and I have the date when I began this process on them. So, I think what I'll do, let's get them here. And like I said, there's a bit too much moisture in this sand, so I'm just going to try and scoop some of it out as I go. You don't want it to be too wet. So worm stratification, as a general rule, if they need to be worm stratified, that means in moist medium, might be peat moss or sand or just potting mix. These specified sands, so I'm going to try that. I've usually just used potting mix. And it needs to be around like 25, 26 degrees, which I think that's Celsius, which I believe is 80 Fahrenheit. So I just have my sand in there. I didn't put a whole lot. The seeds aren't huge, and I'm not looking to like actually grow them. They're just stratifying in here. So now I'm going to scoop the seeds out. So once they've gone through the warm process, then they need cold stratification, and all that means is basically put them in your refrigerator. You know, like generally if you go like just above freezing till, you know, around 3 degrees, that's usually enough for the cold stratification. Again, like I said, you could just put them outside, and it's okay if it's, you know, if you're in the prairies and it gets cold and freezing there, that's not a big deal. So I'm going to put these seeds down into the sand so they're staying in contact there, and that moisture will help to break down the seed coat a little bit. The sand might even help kind of, you know, sometimes with stratification you want to be sandy, like using a file or something to nick the seed coat. So the sand maybe is to help break that seed coat down a bit more, might be why they specified that. I'm just going to take the air out of the bag. So it's supposed to be, for these, it's supposed to be for 60 days or about 2 months in the warm, and then about 90 days in the cold. So that's what I'm going to do with these. Now the warm is 26 degrees-ish, so I'm going to set them under my plant lights, not because they need light, but just because it's a little bit warmer there. My house is not that warm. And hopefully that, I'll keep a temperature thermometer there, and hopefully that'll keep the temperature out. So I've got them all in here. They're in the bag in the sand, nice moist sand, and I'll just put them in that warm space there. Another space sometimes you can find is on top of your refrigerator or freezer. Quite often there's a little bit of warmth there, but with the newer appliances I find that's not always a warm spot anymore. So I'm going to go put them in a nice warm spot, and I'll keep you up to date as I move them along. So I just wanted to mention that I'll be keeping an eye on those seeds. just to make sure that there's no mold growing in the packages. Make sure the temperature, I put a thermometer on the light there just to make sure it is warm enough there for them. Otherwise I'll need to move them somewhere else. And I'll just be making sure there's no mold forming, that it doesn't dry out somehow, or if I need to ventilate the bag a little bit to cool it down. And I also only planted half the seeds that were in that seed pack. So if the germination doesn't work out very well this way, then I can always just sow some of them in the autumn outside, and that might give me a better result. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.